Good day. I'm Varusan Bolai, and Hail Carib-Sport is my website. You'll see the link down below. If you like what you're hearing, click like, share with your friends, subscribe, and so on. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. TTPFL matches over the weekend, Wave TV saving the day, a whole lot of money for Trinidad and Tobago FA in terms of World Cup preparations over the next 2 years. No excuse in that areas. One or two players to look out for in the PFL. And of course, a lot of football in June for Trinidad and Tobago. So let's start off with the TTPFL. Let's begin with Wave TV. You'd swear I'm getting paid for this, the way I rave about Wave, but no, I call it as I see it. We didn't get a lot of football aired over the last few months. This damn PFL people, they would tell us it's on Sportsmax and it's not. TTPFL, get rid of the Sportsmax sign when you're advertising your blasted match. At first, I thought, it was some old picture they use in and they forgot to edit it properly. But this has been going on for months now. It's misrepresentation. But I just don't take all on anymore. But, it really wasted a lot of people's time. I mean, you're the TTPFL, but be blasted professional. Please get rid of that thing. That thing has been going on for months now. And it's irritating. Stop it. All right? Now, regarding Wave, they didn't get a lot of advertising or any advertising to show matches in the past. And they used some basic resources because of this. Give them credit. This weekend, we got 3 consecutive days of football, 6 matches, all courtesy of Wave with not one damn ad. And they came with better resources nevertheless. They brought more than one camera. And there was gallery and slow motion replay and all kind of thing going on. And it was a much better production. They were nice enough to mention me and my support for the TTPFL and to a lesser extent them. I'm a Trini, I'm a football fan, I'm a journalist. I will happily support TNT football. That is a given. Regarding praising Wave, I call it as I see it. If I see anything wrong or good, like any human being or any journalist, I will point out that as well. I want to say this before I forget. It was raining like crazy on Friday, and I believe the match was Defence Force versus Samoa. And you're supposed to have a coat for your camera, and sometimes water will still get on the lens. And all you see is a man wiping the lens every once in a while to make sure we could watch the TV. I have never seen that before on live TV, and I'm not dissing them. It had me cracking up like a windshield, and we're going back to football. Wave did their job. A few constructive criticisms or advice for Wave. Thank you for showing us the roster, the lineup. Maybe you could put the number. I know you call everything off verbally, but maybe you could put the numbers next to the players' names, and maybe show us the subs on screen as well. The numbers and the names as well, if that is not too much. When the subs are being made, substitutions, maybe you could show us the names on TV as well. I know you guys are calling it off verbally, but it's just nice to see it done. And I am sure you're going to get to that. Your production is just getting better and better. So what can I say? Thank you, Wave, and I hope more is to come. Wave have, sorry I didn't write it down, but it's a very easy thing to remember. Something like wavetv.com, where you can subscribe and you can get whatever you want, including the football, for $2 per month. I think $2 US, which I think is a hell of a deal. I'm sure it'll go up one day, but once I get that proper website, I will put it below on my YouTube video. So again, thank you to Wave TV, a job well done. Okay. Let's look at the matches that were played. You had on Friday Sando versus Rangers and Defence Force versus Samoa Jabloti. I don't know what's wrong with this Rangers team. Their last 5 games, they've won 1 match and lost 4 matches, all in injury time. Like somebody work on Obia on these people for injury time. Rangers lost in the last minute of injury time to Sando 1-0. This is a team that on paper should be doing much better and has just regressed with the passing of every year. I don't know what their problem is. They don't seem to be playing a bad brand. They have good players. Who knows what it is. I believe they've changed their coach. I don't know what difference it's making, but tough luck for Rangers. Defence Force versus Samoa. Well, that was the game of the weekend for me. It was quality football right through. Defence Force is heads and shoulders above the rest on the points table and look like they will easily win this year's league. Samoa gave them a good run for their money. You had Zum Garcia and a fellow called, I believe, Sweeney. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. These 2 youngsters were played against Jamaica earlier this year, and I can understand why. They're 18 years old. They're defeated. They played against Defence Force, the best team in Trinidad and Tobago, against Big Hard Backman, arguably one of the best teams in the Caribbean, and they were giving them a torrid time. What you see is 2 youngsters who are going to get bigger and better. They may not be regulars on the TNT team right now, but you want to keep your eye on these boys. And I see one of them going to the Gold Cup for sure, because you know you want to blood your youngsters, you want to get them ready for the big time. Yeah, very very good footballers. On the Saturday, you had Prisons versus Point Fortin and Eagles versus Central. Well, Prisons easily beat Point Fortin, which has not been having a good season. They had a great season in 2023, but not so good these days. And Prisons look good, but again, there was Point Fortin, everybody beating them. So, yeah. Eagles versus Central. Central won it 2-0. It wasn't a big challenge. I expected Central to win by an even wider margin, but so be it. On Sunday, a nice little upset. 1976 Phoenix versus Police at the Barracks. Phoenix went ahead, and Police came back and drew the game 1-all. You know, you gotta admire Phoenix. Now, a game has been played on home soil, not even on the island, and they continue to persevere and have the odd upset here and there. At one point, I thought they could place in the top 6. Not too sure about that right now, but it looks like they could escape the bottom 2 and maybe even the bottom 3 for sure. The next game was AC Port of Spain versus Cali. Cali went ahead. AC came back, equalized again, 1-all draw. So teams like AC Port of Spain, Cali, and Police who were looking to maybe ascend in the table, because it's a tight race, a very very tight race between second and fourth. All of them ended up drawing games, which of course did not help them while Defence Force won their game. So it's a very very tight. Sorry about that little video error there. It's a very very tight race between second, third, and fourth. It's certainly going to be an interesting battle. You got Central FC, AC Port of Spain, and Samoa in a really tight group for second, third, and fourth. Miscellaneous Police and Caledonia just behind them. I'm not giving you the points because the tables were not updated today, but I do have the positions correct. And you know, it's great. It's going to be tight. I see Central perhaps finishing the top. AC Port of Spain finishing in the top 3, with a toss-up between Central and Samoa for that other position. But you know, you never know what can happen in football. You really never do. So also it's good that they've given Defence Force a good run for their money, because you know, if Defence Force beats up on everybody, it doesn't get them ready for the Caribbean Cup. It doesn't make them a better team, and it gives them false illusions about themselves. So what's next here? I see I have some players to look at. Look at Kieran Cummins. He's hitting about 37 years of age, playing a wonderful game in the midfield. Big, strong, distributes with the left foot, good, powerful left foot. People might say, well, all right, we need to groom the younger players. Nothing wrong with that. I agree with that. But I would keep Kieran in the mix. You never know when you might need him. And he's one of those guys that might help us to get to the World Cup, even if you don't play him in the World Cup. He's certainly not going to be overwhelmed by playing for his country and playing in front of big crowds. Another guy, DeLeon Beckles for Phoenix. Big, strong guy on the left. Very young, only about 21, 22. Not a lot of info about him on the net, but judging from his secondary school days, I figured out what his age could be. The next thing I want to talk about is the National Gas Company and the Ministry of Sport and the money that they have given to the TTFA for the World Cup preparation. I can't believe what I heard. It was so good. The Ministry of Sport over 2 years has issued $2 million US to be paid $1 million per year. That's, by my limited math, is well over 13 million Trinidad and Tobago dollars. And then you have NGC, National Gas Company, 3 million TT over 2 years. And again, by my limited math, because my math already limited, that's over 16 million Trinidad and Tobago dollars in 2 years. That's over 8 million TT per year just for World Cup preparation. Forgive me for saying this. Maybe I'm naive about international football and expenditures for our national team, but I think that's more than enough. It's a wonderful step in the right direction. And I want to know what excuse the FA could have for not properly preparing our boys in terms of going abroad, playing games, and bringing down teams and having them play at home. If you don't know how to promote matches at home, let private enterprise do it for you. Hire them. This is really wonderful. I'm ecstatic. I can't remember the last time I saw this kind of sponsorship. You know, people look at the FA with a little bit of hesitation because of their history of a lack of financial transparency and just competence. I know the new FA will say, well, that was other people, not us, but we hear this all the time, and 9 out of 10 times is the same old story with just different players. So I look forward to seeing what the FA will do with this money. I look forward to financial transparency, and I look forward to a good program. That takes me to my next step, which is the games. May, June is going to be an amazing time for Trinidad and Tobago football. There's something called the Unity Cup in England, Nigeria, Ghana, Trinidad, Jamaica. From what I've been reading in the press, Trinidad will play Jamaica, Nigeria will play with Ghana, The two winners and the two losers will then face each other. Anyway, you look at it, this is great football for Trinidad and Tobago. Great chance for our players to be seen by scouts abroad and further their aspirations. Right into that, after that, we're going to the World Cup qualifiers. We play St. Kitts at home and Costa Rica in Costa Rica around between the 4th and 8th of June. And then right after that, we're going to the Gold Cup. There's a truckload of football for you in May and June. And again, a wonderful chance for our players to be seen. People are talking about certain players, like Dante Sealy in the US. I think he's right now too hot a prospect to really come towards Trinidad. Or he could commit to Trinidad and then switch over before he's 23. But I don't think we're going to get Dante. But they're talking about, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, Justin Ubiku, who's doing a wonderful job for Grimsby Town. A shame to tell you, I forgot he played for Trinidad against Jamaica last year. The first match was a closed door. I don't know if the second was. I just scanned the first match in the first half to see where they mentioned his name. They didn't mention him, what I was looking at, although he started. So I want to watch both games closely because Justin is doing very well these days for Grimsby Town. He was in a car accident in February, slowed down his football for a little bit, but it wasn't overly serious, and I hope he's back in action. A shame, I forgot. But certainly if you look at the quality of football he's playing, he deserves to be with the squad, training with the squad. And I guess if they're in England, they'll play him. Good. If I could say this, good thing about him playing fourth in England, he doesn't. They're not really going to be called up by Nigeria or England, two countries for which he's eligible for. So we have a good shot with Justin there. People talk about the three brothers in Holland. One is playing second division, one is playing for an under-19 team, and one, I think the oldest one, is playing third tier, which is like the highest form of amateur football in the Netherlands. Again, I'm sure Dwight York knows about these gentlemen. I am sure he will take a look at them. Wonderful chance for them to come over and join the team and train when they're in England. And Dwight wants to get all this sorted out by May, or certainly May, June, because we only have more World Cup qualifiers coming up. And we need to beef up that midfield, and the more options we have up front, the better. So it looks like a very interesting time for Trinidad and Tobago football. The PFL is producing players who are getting contracts abroad. We have been given a wonderful financial boon by both NGC and the Trinidad and Tobago government. I don't know what excuse they could have for not preparing this team properly now. I'm sure Dwight York has his scouts going around. I am sure we're going to see 3 names more or less added to the squad from abroad over the next few months. I await May and June with bated breath. I know the game, especially in Costa Rica, will not be an easy one. But I believe Trinidad is slowly evolving, slowly getting better. I thank Wave TV for what they've done. They spoiled me. I hope we'll see some more football coming up. And if you're a Trinidad football fan, and with 8 possible spots for the next World Cup, you've got to be excited. So let's stay tuned. Let's continue supporting our national team. Let's support our PFL. And let's support our coach, Dwight York.